I actually forget these rooms exist sometimes. I'm used to left and right being on the bottom floor, but there's actually, like, when you go into this opening area, you can then turn around and go backwards to this area, and I lose track of that way too often.
Hey, Jaal? Didn't mean to scare you.
What? I'm not scared. 1 second.
What's going on in here? You look busy.
If I'm busy, my mind is occupied with whatever I'm working on, rather than worrying.
I can see how that'd help.
I'd like your advice on something. I'm making gifts for everyone. I have a list.
Gifts?
Do Turians like poetry? For Vetra, I'm writing a poem and engraving it on... I'm not sure yet.
Who doesn't like a personalized poem?
Great. Maybe I could just recite it for her.
Make sure I'm there for that.
Liam seems to like my Rofgin. I might sew him one.
He does.
Do Krogan like knives? I could craft a ceremonial Angara dagger for Drac.
Who wouldn't want that?
It's mainly decorative. Would you like one?
Jaal, this is a lot of work. What's really going on?
I'm sure that I seem confident and skilled to you, but I'm not. Or I don't feel like I am.
I think most people feel like that.
I want to fit in. I want to make a difference.
And most people probably think the same thing.
My family is well known. Our lineage is respected, and many of my kin have achieved great things. I've never been one of them. So many older siblings and cousins who succeeded at everything. I stopped trying to keep up.
Right.
Thanks for listening.
You're one of us now, Jaal.
I want to see the poetry part. When do I get to see the poetry part?
Aksul is very cunning. We can't underestimate him. My mothers are worried sick about the cousins that joined him.
I want to learn more about your species.
What would you like to know?
You studied with Mosai Sefa. Is she a teacher or a religious figure?
She's many things. She's a clear thinker with deep knowledge and insight. She teaches and inspires. She's beloved. I love her.
Really? So one of those professor-student things?
No, not that way. Mosai Sefa is 115 of your years old.
Is there a central Angaran religion?
There are many variations. An almanac could give you an accurate number. But if you are a believer, the essential tenet is, after we die, we are reincarnated. We evolve to make our families strong. Born from what was before. Blessed to be better than before.
Are you a believer?
No. Yes. Sometimes. I don't know if it's the same for humans. Sahuna, my true mother, is a firm believer.
How long have you had electromagnetic capabilities? How did they evolve?
No idea. Biology doesn't interest me, but I'm sure you can easily read up on it.
That's disappointing. No biology at all?
How do your eyeballs work?
Okay, I get your point. Maybe I can find an Angara doctor to ask about your... whatever.
Although, I used to know some facts, like the origins of our vestigial organs.
Oh yeah, humans have a coccyx, a vestigial tail, and I have webbed toes, just a couple, but Sarah doesn't. And she had wisdom teeth, but I didn't. Now you.
No idea.
The Angara seem so open and free with their feelings.
Are we? We're certainly not ashamed of our feelings. We're taught that feelings and beliefs should live on the outside, where they can be dealt with honestly and openly.
Don't people get hurt?
Of course. Then everyone deals with it. That's the point.
How many colonies do you have? On what planets?
Since the Scourge, we've managed to survive on a small number of planets. What we know from before the Scourge is mostly oral history. We did have spaceflight, and the stories tell of 5 original colonies.
Well, enough about that. Can you tell me more about the Kett occupation?
It's a difficult subject. I'll answer what I can. I may get emotional.
What's living under the Kett been like for you?
Do you really want to hear about these things? They're painful.
I asked, didn't I?
It's like living on unstable ground. Every day brings more horrible news. I part company with someone not knowing if I'll ever see them again. When I was a boy, my father vanished from my life. One horrible day.
Was he in the Resistance?
No. He was a technician at a mine. He went to work and didn't come home. That happens for an Angara child somewhere, every single day.
When the Kett came, why didn't you fight?
They didn't give us a reason to. Until they did. Then it was too late. Perhaps you think we were weak. But the Kett are ruthless. They are masters at knowing exactly when and how to strike.
I get that. Believe me. Have the Kett always been here?
No. Some, like the Moshai, are old enough to remember the time before the Kett. But I don't. Nor do my mothers.
And the Archon came with them?
We think so. Resistance intel on that is unclear, and few have seen him in person.
And lived to tell?
And lived to tell.
Well, enough about that. I'll see you later, Jaal.
Stay strong and clear.
Oh no, they reminded me of Sarah. What? Why does that character exist, by the way? Like, she doesn't affect the story as far as I can tell, maybe ever. I'm starting to wonder if she's ever going to wake up at all at any point in this game and do anything ever, because like she's just in a coma the whole time. Like, I'm starting to wonder what's the point of making me customize the character in the first place. So, I'm going to put off the rest of that dialogue for later, and we'll piecemeal it a little bit, because it's kind of a marathon of lore dumping. So, normally I catch up with each character at some point shortly after they join the crew, but Jaal wasn't trusting at first, and then I forgot to go back and check on him for his lore dump after that. So, I went on all this time thinking I had caught up with all the different cast members, but I had to do various story missions to get Jaal to trust me before he would talk about these things, because when I first talked about him, he basically just shut me down immediately. So that's our follow-up on that. Might do more of them right after we do the PB thing, but next our next goal is Havarl. There we go. Any new developments here? Worth checking since they seems to be happening a lot lately, though I think it's usually a story thing. Alright, haven't been here for a while. We need to make sure, well yeah, PB should already be in the crew. This will give me a chance to play with my new gun. I made a custom version of the Carbine 5. I also have a Carbine 5 on top of that. I guess it just dropped for me somewhere recently, because I just straight up have a Carbine 5, so I don't have to use the Carbine 3 I've been using anymore, because a 5 dropped at some point But since I saw that, I was like, well, I'll make a custom one. And that's where things get weird. So this guy has a... Really? That's the best I can view? Really? Alright, that doesn't really let me view the customizations I put into it properly. Just shows me the things I molded into it afterwards. Well, it's got, like, homing projectiles that come out of it, and it also has the heat sink. I put the vintage heat sink in it. That means that it's going to be not using ammo. It's going to work like a Mass Effect 1 gun, which is kind of exciting to me.
Entering atmosphere. LZ in sight.
Haven't been here for a while, have we? Oh my god. That's some range, isn't it? Huh. This might be an interesting gun. It also it doesn't have its shotgun spread at all, though, so it's just shooting, like, in a straight line, kind of. Also, that ammo kind of, frankly, drops pretty quickly. Let's see. Does it refill any slower when I overheat it? Not really. I can pretty much just let it overheat and it'll come back just as quickly. So the overheat, I don't think the system from previous Mass Effect where you had to worry about it overheating and then be all like, oh no, it overheated, now I have to wait even longer. I think that just doesn't apply now. Where are these enemies? I want to try this homing shot out. Was it working at all? I don't know if it could open on somebody that's in that kind of position.
Time for the kill shot.
Yeah, I don't know. Might be interesting. At the very least, it's better than the previous gun I was using, my other custom shotgun. But I might just default back to using the vanilla Rieger 5. I also like that it's named after the Rieger character I believe it's named after the exact Rieger character that we've met before. Oh, I'm supposed to go up here. Can I teleport up there? I think this might be... Are you all gonna fight me now? Could he not, maybe? Could he just not? I don't really want to. I'm not gonna be able to get through there, am I? Alright. Now how y'all feeling? Feel like that was a good idea? Hi Drac, thanks for your help. He seems to have weirdly chosen to just kind of hang out around there. Ah, Jesus Christ! Ah! Son of a bitch. Why? Just why? Why is there death tar in all these levels? Is that... What? Am I dying right now? What the fuck just happened? Just what's the point of it? It's so tiny and nondescript and it's barely visible. It's not like a glowing lava pool. It's one thing when you're clearly platforming through a dangerous room, but when it's like just a tiny little ring of death that's in a random, that's kind of just in the middle of a courtyard, like, just why? Why is that in the level design? Just why bother? It just feels like if you're making a hazard, you're making it with the expectation someone's going to die there, because that's the whole point of making a hazard in a video game. And so then the moment, that means that their intention is to be like, we want some percentage of players to die here. But why there? It's not a platforming segment. It's not an obstacle to distract during fights.
The piece of rem tech I need is still here.
Okay, yeah, my weapon might kind of suck. I might switch back to the other one. Among other things, the clip is just tiny. That's rough. Unfortunately, I can't change my weapon without going to a loadout station, so I'm just gonna have to go with biotic powers for now. Invalid target, sure. That's the same target, but in a slightly different position, but that one's valid. Sure, why not? And now he's valid. Sure, why not? There we go. Ha! We're in. Found a broken access point in the remnant structure. We're gonna get the piece the bosses are after, and I'm gonna win that bet after all. Nope. You're really dead now. I wish...
that was a clusterfuck.
Oh, someone's talking. So I wish I had a mod that would increase my clip sizes or something of shotguns. Unfortunately, I'm just not getting that luck. I think I've seen that kind of mod on other weapons, but I only have like a tiny handful. Does that trigger every single time I walk up to this door? Let's try again.
Well, that was a clusterfuck.
Yep, that triggers over and over again. Huh. I've seen that mod on other weapons before, but unfortunately I've just never been that lucky with shotguns. I have like no mods that have been dropping for them so far.
They're all dead. And now you're here, I'm screwed.
You'll be okay.
Oh, really? We were supposed to clean out this site before you got here, but there were too many damn bots. This outfit doesn't care a lick about any of us.
Tell me about them.
Just joined, so I can't tell you much. The Krogan's name is Crank or Crankit or something. He runs the field crews. That's all I know. Here, take the choice piece from this site. I'm officially retired.
Bet this is the second piece you need, PB.
Yep. And the last one's turned up on Kadara. Coordinates uploaded.
Oh, have I scanned that before? Huh. Alright then, Kadara it is, completing the circle. Let's hope it's a rule of threes, perhaps? I might be able to warp back out of here. I hope. Can I go to the Tempest? Is that the Tempest location? That should be the Tempest location. Can't warp to it. Yeah, Tempest current location. Oh, fast travel's disabled. I have to, like, walk out of this place, I guess. Alright. So I'm probably gonna switch to my my normal Rieger shotgun, but rank 5. So far, my attempts at customizing guns have been incredibly fruitless, to the point where the customizations make the gun shittier than the non-customized version of the same gun. Which is unfortunate. Ow. Well, that's not good. Really not getting through here safely, actually. Bye. My plan was just to run through, but that's quickly becoming problematic. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Everything's fine. I'm healthy. Everything's fine. Getting out. A little bit of health to make up for me being dumb. Hey, it's a death pit that exists for no reason. See you later. Yeah, I'm baffled by those death pits. I'm just like, what? Why though? Just why? 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 Why do you want to kill the player there specifically? Like, why make it a possibility? It's like if there was like just a death pit in the middle of like your town at your settlement, and like, why does our settlement randomly have a death pit in the middle? Like, you know, just get good. Don't step in it. I'm like, yeah, but why is it there? Not a platforming segment. I don't think it's a completely crazy criticism. It's a relatively minor thing, but it's just weird. These things too are like surrounded by a pit of murder. And it's not even like a gradual murder. You step into it and... Why is... Oh, I'm in combat. Damn it. It's a weird detail because, like... One of the weird things is the fact that it kills you over time, suggesting that you can get out of it. But, like, oftentimes... And part of it's because when Ryder lands, he, like, stumbles awkwardly and it takes him, like, seconds to be able to even move again whenever he does something because of the animation priority that's in this game, much like Horizon Zero Dawn. But that means that when I fall into the pit of murder, it's like it's built to frustrate me because there's one moment of like, oh, you can get out if you're fast enough, and I'm hammering the jump button. And no matter how much I hammer the jump button, just nothing happens. And I'm like, no, just jump. And like, nope, I'm just gonna die in this hole. I'm like, why won't you jump out? We are under attack still, aren't we? I don't want to fight you guys, I just want to warp out. Let me leave. There we go. Escape. Escape. Escape.
Leaving Avaril. Bridge is yours, Pathfinder.
Wasn't Gavorkum some Krogan hero?
Hero? More like a lucky idiot.
Maybe they named the system after him because of the nebula. That bit there looks like a Krogan.
I don't know. I see it.
Why are you flashing and glowing? What's up with that? Something going on down here? Maybe it's a different quest location that I'm not currently looking for. It's called Bakar. Huh. Just has like a force field around it. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. Just when I think I'm done with Kadara, it keeps pulling me back in. Back on Kadara. This one's a pretty straightforward drive from the beginning.
Krogan live much longer than the rest of the Milky Way species.
Yeah, so...
But now you've got about as much time left as Ryder, Vetra, everyone else on the team.
If I'm lucky, get to the point.
Must be weird. After so much time, finally facing the end.
Time is time. Number of years don't matter as much as what you do with them. Whatever I've got left's gonna be chock full of living.
Whatever I've got left's gonna be chock full of living. That's great. Oh. No, it's also weird to think.
Farm. These exiles sure are resourceful.
Must be how they power Kadara Port.
What is happening up here? It's weird to have her being like, must be weird to be facing the end. I'm like, the end being literally the amount of life that we have? That everyone else gets? Wow, wow. A+. A, really nailed it, Nomad. That was a full-on, like, boost, and it didn't even move. Why do I even have a boost in some of these cases? Holy crap. Have I missed this quest until now, or is it new? I wonder. Oops, that's not the right time to be drawing. Whoop, that's all the wrong buttons, I'm sorry. Hi.
Assholes took everything but the rotor hub.
Trouble with scavengers?
Always. Who are you?
A Pathfinder with the initiative.
The one who saved Sloane from the charlatan.
You said you had a scavenger problem?
Right, yeah. Bastards come at night, pick the turbines clean of parts. Expensive and annoying.
Sloane doesn't provide security?
Too busy with the collective. I'm not asking for guards, I just want our parts back.
Any idea where I could find these scavengers?
I've started putting trackers on the more valuable parts. Yard drive, generator, they've all been taken to the same nav point.
I'll check it out.
If the parasites put up a fight, don't feel bad about offing them.
Planet's secretly still not over. Holy crap. Was there somebody else around here? I thought I saw another point floating around. There's the one over there.
What are we paying
You running security here?
Sure as hell ain't to stand
Trying.
pretty.
Krogan or not, I'm only one merc. This lot's crazy thinking they can run a wind farm in the Badlands.
Why do you think there have been so many attacks?
All these fancy gizmos out in the open, they're begging to be stolen. We'll say, though, it's damn suspicious those scavs keep hitting the place while I'm off shift. Like someone's telling them when to strike.
Any advice for staying alive in the Badlands?
Get out of the Badlands.
See you around.
Whatever.
They attack whenever you're gone. Sounds like they probably have a tracker on you, or they know your schedule. Yeah, we'll be hitting the farm again soon and drop off the Krogan's patrol schedule in the usual spot. Well, that immediately gave that away. Someone's just dumping the schedule off. Please, Kay, I don't want to do this anymore. People are getting suspicious. You want credits for Oblivion? Get the patrol schedule. Wow.
She was telling scavengers when to attack in exchange for credits to buy Oblivion.
That was easy to find. Hi. Jumping out your window that isn't a window. How you doing?
Looking for Elora? Word of her plans got around. Sloane caught wind and made her disappear. Always told Elora she was too ambitious.
I don't remember who Elora is, to be honest. Yeah, I don't remember who that is. That's not that person over there, is it? That'd be a really weird sequence break. It's so dark in these rooms until I walk in. New entry. Inventory fully stocked. That Vidal guy really came through. Though, thought his fees were on the high side, but he got everything on the list. Now to sell these babies for double the price. Definitely wish there was like some facial lighting or something where I would talk to people. Just so you could see them better during those, like, non-cutscenes where we sort of try to mouth flap at each other.